Yes, I'm at the house. Decided to go for a walk because I'm bored. I spent a little bit of the afternoon listening to some music. I decided to listen to a bit of that CD that I got yesterday for Neon Genesis Evangelion soundtrack. So I decided to listen to that for a bit and listen to some stuff on Spotify and that, and just had a chill and had something to eat. And I just thought, well, seeing as there's only about an hour or so left of daylight, just thought to go for a walk around really and stretch the old legs. It's a bit of a miserable day today, to be honest. It's been raining, it's wet, and I can feel it, that it's like real fine drizzle like in the air, like. So yeah, I was going to go down Hazel Foreshore, but I just could not be bothered. So I'm just going to go for a little jaunt around where I live. I think that's the plan really. Just go for a little jaunt around. I thought about kind of showing some little areas from my childhood. That is if nobody's around in certain areas, but you know, like go back down memory lane for a little bit. Just walking by the church, and I've just seen all these nice poppies for, you know, the remembrance thing and everything, for all that, all the, you know, World War I and II and everything in remembrance. And yeah, just thought to just look really nice, drooping down the side there of the church and along the roof here. Really nice. So yeah, but yeah, this is the main church. Obviously, I think I've had this in past vlogs, anyways. But this is the old church in Hazel, where I live. I mean, I'm not religious or anything like that, but I have always been a big fan of architecture, especially like medieval, you know, the old big stone, you know, big stone structures and buildings. Now, what's interesting about the church in Hazel is, what's interesting about the church here is it used to be a hell of a lot bigger. Yeah, it used to be huge, this church. It used to, I think, if I can remember rightly which end it is, but one end is actually kind of rebuilt back, well, it's still going back a fair bit when it was rebuilt. But yeah, there was a big fire apparently, and a fair bit, I don't know if it's this side or if it's the other side behind me, the other end of the church, but there was yeah, there was a huge fire apparently, and I was unable to save like a good majority of it, and unfortunately it's still a big church even now, but it used to be absolutely huge at one point, which, I mean, it just looks really cool, doesn't it? Like the architecture, you can tell like the original bits of it. You can tell like the original bits, like the original stone, and then there is parts that you can see is more like newer stone because it's lighter compared to other parts. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of architecture, especially old buildings. Even though, like I say, I'm not religious at all, but I do love churches and chapels, and I do like the look of them. But it is really, I've always really liked this church. It's spin you around for a second, you know, it's really nice. Like the big archway for the doorway here, and then the big windows and everything, and yeah, it's really nice church. And also this is the old graveyard. God knows how old some of these graves are. I mean, you see some of the gravestones lining alongside the wall there. I'm not sure if all the bodies are still here or not, because if you notice, they're just sort of just pushed up against the wall, a lot of the gravestones. So some of the bodies are probably still here, but I don't know if they've been moved, because I have a feeling that this front side, this side of the graveyard, I have a feeling it has been altered over time, you know, because of the footpath put in as well. So I'm not sure if some of these have been moved and they've just simply just left these as a reminder of the graves. I don't know, but see how they're just uniform right along the wall here. But if you can see, they are really old. They're just all breaking apart, and you know. But yeah, ever since being a kid, I used to kind of play around here when I was a kid, you know, and just yeah, it's just, I've always admired architecture. It seems like there's something on at the church hall there. There's a lot of cars coming in. So unfortunately I can't show you where I went to Cubs at currently, where I went to Cubs and Scouts when I was a kid. There's a building just behind that church hall, and that's where I went for Cubs and Scouts when I was a kid. But unfortunately I can't show you it because it looked like there's a lot of people around. I don't know what's going on. Unless it is Cubs and Scouts and it's still there, but I don't know. And along here I'm on like the weir, we call it the Weir Street, which is literally just the top of my street. And one of these shops, I think it's one of these three, it used to be a toy shop, and there's a lot of memories of me when I was a kid, like during the early to late 90s, going there for my Pokemon cards. I think it's the third one in, that one there. That is now, I think, a beauty shop or something. That third one in used to be a toy shop, and it was there for quite a long time, at least like late 80s right through the 90s, and I think it shut when I was about 9 or 10, give or take that time period. And yeah, it was a really awesome toy shop. It stocked pretty much everything at the time that was really sought after. It's where I got most of my Pokemon cards from, my Pogs, my Jacks, marbles, everything that was very much the rage back then. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, everything. Yeah, and also it stocked like the Transformers toys as well at the time, like, because I remember when that was open, they got in the Armada stuff. So it must have actually been a bit later when that closed, because the Unicron trilogy was on TV at the time, and I was watching Transformers Armada and Cybertron and all that, and Energon, and so that place would have been open when they were on TV, so that would have been like the early 2000s, and yeah, the early 2000s. And I remember the Megatron being in there, and the Optimus Prime, and a few other Transformers toys that I never got when I was a kid. I used to go in there a lot. I used to go in there a hell of a lot, and just, you know, kid being a kid and just staring at all the toys. And also as well, Bionicle. I remember when Bionicle first came out, where you basically them like alien robotic things that Lego produced, and they stopped them as well, and I used to go there for that. But it was, I think, that shop there originally. Man, it's sad how things change. Unfortunately, I don't think it didn't get passed down in generation either. I think he did have kids. I think he had a daughter, I think, the guy who owned it. But you don't have independent toy shops anymore like you used to. It is a shame. Right, I'm back home because it's starting to piss it down out there. So I've just had a very interesting little thing happen to me literally just now on the way back home. It is definitely a first for me to actually get recognised, especially in Hessel where I live, or anywhere except for maybe at TF Nation, obviously. This is interesting. I've just basically just been walking back, and there was a kid behind me on a push bike, and I moved to one side to let him go past. And he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, thanks, for letting him go." And then he just kind of stops and he stares at me. He's like, "Do I know you?" And I went, "I have no idea," because I do not recognise him at all. And he went, "John?" Oh, and I went, "Yeah, it is John." And I went, "Bloody hell, I thought it was you, because I watch you on YouTube." I don't know which channel he watches, whether it's this one or my main one, but it's, I was like, and he went, "Oh wow, bloody hell, what are the odds of that?" kind of thing. And he was like, "Oh, I watch you on YouTube." And he went, "Oh, great to meet you." And he just carried on going. And I was like, that is definitely a first for me to actually get recognised like that. Well, that was cool. That was cool. So if you're watching, it was nice to meet you. I don't know what your name was, because it was one of those interactions where I just didn't really think or click to ask you your name. But anyways, so I'm back home. I was going to go for a bit more of an in-depth kind of look around, but it's getting busy now, and kids are being picked up from school and everything, and a lot of traffic about, and every time I try and attempt to take the camera out, there's somebody there, and I try to be careful because some people don't like to be on camera, and especially if there's loads of little kids around, you've got to be careful with that as well these days. It's mad, so you've got to be careful of exactly who or what is in the background of your videos these days. But anyways, so I'm back. I had a look around the shop before coming back, and about something to eat for later, but I can't see anything that takes my fancy, so I'm going to see what's in the freezer, I think, and see if there's anything in the freezer from that my dad's got in, and that, and I might maybe do that for later on. I don't know what's going on tonight, as usually Saturdays are me and Smithy meeting up, but I don't know what's going on with that. So, but yeah, I think I'm just going to chill out for a few hours, yeah, I mean, that's going to be the plan, I think, just chill out for a few hours, and yeah, but it's been a chill day. It's been a miserable day. It's practically been wet and drizzly all day today, but I thought to just get out, stretch my legs for a bit, even though I literally only kind of went a little bit in a circle around the area for about 10 minutes. Well, I was out about half an hour in all, I think. But yeah, I was going to go down Hessel foreshore again, but I just couldn't be bothered, especially with the weather and everything. So just come back now, and that's going to be that. But I just thought to kind of just get out the house for a bit, and you know what I mean? You know, when you're in that kind of mood and mindset, and you just want to kind of just get out and get a bit of fresh air. So yeah. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. I mean, like I say, it wasn't that much of a tour around Hessel, but I'm just going to chill for a bit now. Probably see about something to eat. And then, yeah, that's going to be today's vlog, I think. I'm starting to run out of ideas of what to do, what to say. But like I say, I'm just going to try and just do something every single day. And yeah, but yeah, it's been a chilled out day. Just like I said earlier on in the vlog, just listening to some music and having a listen to this CD that I got yesterday, earlier on, and yeah, just chill, just a chilled day. But again, shout out, I don't know if he will be watching, but apparently he watches me, he recognised me off YouTube. So to that kid I had the little interaction with just now, it was nice meeting you. Happy that you watch my videos and everything, and that was certainly something that took me out of things a bit, really, because I don't get recognised in my local area. You know, I don't get recognised like that, you know, just by chance through my YouTube channels. The only times where I've had a little bit of that is people that are watching from elsewhere. Like, there has been a couple of instances where somebody I used to go to school with, they found my channel and started to get back in contact and was messaging and commenting with me through videos on this channel. And then there was a guy called Henry that I've mentioned a few times. He used to live in Hull, where I live, and he now lives in Tasmania. And so yeah, I have had a couple of instances over the time I've been on YouTube where I've been very out-of-body experiences where, you know, it's kind of strange, really, but that was really cool. That was really cool to just have just a random, you know, recognised off of YouTube kind of thing in my local area, which is certainly a change, and it's certainly the first. But yeah, see you soon, people. Hope you enjoy the vlog, and I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Bye bye.